I know that the majority of people out there are experiencing this symptom, and what I'm talking about is depersonalization. I'm tired of so many people out there sharing things, information, knowledge about depersonalization that is just utterly and completely useless and impractical. Today, I'm not only going to give you an understanding, but I'm going to give you 3 very important things that you can do starting today to begin lessening and eventually eliminating depersonalization from your life. Are you enjoying this podcast? Give it a positive rate and review if you are, warrior. Now, depersonalization can be extremely tricky because the symptoms and the feelings themselves can feel like you've got something going wrong physically. I remember misinterpreting this feeling, thinking, am I developing dementia? Am I losing my memory? Do I have a brain tumor? Do I have this? Do I have that? The list goes on. When you go on Google, the last thing it'll ever tell you is it's based around an emotional component. So, what are some of the causes to depersonalization? Number 1 is depletion. You may be absolutely exhausted. Number 2 is stored emotional traumas. You know those traumas that constantly happen in your life? Yeah, the subconscious mind hasn't forgotten those. It believes that as you go about each and every day that you live, you're just reliving those traumas every single day. It doesn't know they're over. Third is repressed emotion. You've got all this repressed anger, rage, fear within you that you haven't been able to solve and find an outlet to. Also, an overworked nervous system. I mean, you're just doing way too much. Your sympathetic system, related to the fight, flight, or freeze response, is activated constantly. And the parasympathetic system, based around resting and digesting, hasn't had a chance to show up. It doesn't show up. And because this is the case, you are overworked and you are depersonalized. You know what depersonalized was for me? It was like being on a rocking boat. Also, I felt like I was losing my concentration. I couldn't concentrate on things for long periods of time. I was very distracted all the time. You know, a car backfired and automatically I jumped to conclusions. What could that be? Depersonalization was like living in this bubble looking outside. My God, everything's foggy. Why am I so dizzy? Am I losing my memory? This is depersonalization. The biggest reason I see for this is due to the freezing response during one or multiple events from your past. And in ancient teachings around shamanism, shamans called it soul loss, while the cure for it is called soul retrieval. They believed that with the emotionally intense moments in a person's life, a person wasn't able to fully allow the primitive fight or flight response to take over in that situation. And instead, they responded in a freeze manner. Warrior, this led to an overwhelm in the conscious mind, and chemical protection was exerted throughout your nervous system. Do you understand this? Does this sound like your past? That's why you see depersonalization many times go hand in hand with things like memory loss, concentration issues, shaking, body zaps, tingles in the hands and throughout the body, aches and pains, heart palpitations, and much more. The system begins shutting down other working parts of the organism to be able to stay functional and to continue to deal with present and future upcoming intense experiences. Now, here's what you want to do, all right? I want to give you 3 very important keys in order to begin lessening and eliminating depersonalization out of your life. Are you ready? High five. Number 1 is start working on calming your nervous system. I know with health anxiety, people can be very, very sensitized constantly. But there are times throughout the day where you've got these gaps. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not as sensitized. In those moments, I want you to go ahead, run the bath, all right? Put some magnesium chloride in there. Begin relaxing and calming your nervous system. Give yourself that massage. Go ahead and begin implementing a daily meditation practice in your life. I need you to begin to balance out these two systems, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, because that's where health lies. Number 2 is I want you to begin reframing your past traumas. When I mean reframing your past traumas, the experiences that have caused you to initially be sensitized, I don't want you to do it on your own. I want you to hire someone that focuses on this kind of work, emotional reframing. But if you are going to do it yourself, what you want to do is you want to imagine what you wish would have happened instead. What you wish would have happened instead. Mom and dad are fighting. You're 5 years old. Dad's throwing things around. Mom's upset. Mom's crying. Okay, what do you wish would have happened instead? Go through the experience of them in that exact same environment, hugging, kissing, whatever it takes, making love, I don't care. But reframe the experience so that when you think about the experience, you see it in a more neutral and pleasant manner, which then begins to transfer over to your present world. You see how this works? But a lot of people say, well, Dennis, that's not how it happened. Well, the truth is that your memories are constantly changing anyway, right? What you believe happened isn't really the way it happened. Based on your emotionally intense experiences today, whether you're feeling good or whether you're feeling bad, you begin to interpret your memories differently. They're constantly changing. So why not change them so that you can begin to live the life that you want and you deserve? The third thing you need to do is interpret the depersonalization in a way that brings neutralness to the feeling, not catastrophicness, meaning see it as being drunk. You don't have to go buy that six-pack anymore. You're drunk anyway. See it as being high. See it as if you're floating experience, like Dr. Claire Weeks said so. It doesn't matter. Just begin changing the pairings from it being bad to it being okay. I don't care how you look at it as long as it makes you feel okay. It's about perception. It's about interpretation, warrior. Health Anxiety Show, quote of the day. Anxiety can produce dizziness, and dizziness can produce anxiety. I love you so very much. Are you enjoying this podcast? Please subscribe, give it a positive rate and review, and I'll see you in the next podcast episode. Never ever forget that you are more than anxiety. See you soon.